We always had some Waka Flocka. That was our go-to.
I never got into Waka, but I'm also a little older. So
or old school, like old Tyga, like when Tyga first came out. Good time. Okay.
So where my brain went. That's just how my brain works sometimes, man. You've known me long enough. Mm-hmm. You're welcome, guys. Welcome to my life. Sports. Let me talk to you.
Yeah.
We are Who Effing Knows podcast. This is episode 7, right?
Yeah.
Of the second season. I think I'm going to start throwing that stuff out the window. I ain't worried about what episode it is. We made it a year. It's season 2. You're with us. It don't matter. We'll put a title on it. You'll figure it out.
I'm still going to number it.
That's fine. I'm not going to care. I'm not even going to say it anymore. Season 2, episode Who Knows. We're moving along. We got a lot going on, man. There's a lot of things happening in the world. It's not the off season anymore. I'll tell you that much. There is story after story after story. I don't know what to cover when we go on this thing anymore. You got your Saints, a couple things going on with them. Tulane, a couple things going on with them. NBA news. And then, we're going to have some off the wall topics as well, as always. But before we dive in, man, it is a beautiful night here in Mandeville, Louisiana. Beautiful Mandeville, Louisiana. What is it, like 70 degrees outside right now? I have a question for you.
76.
76, man. The days of 100 and something being miserable out here, gone.
Maybe.
I do have a question for you, though. Since it is so beautiful, nights like this or mornings when it's like crisp like this, there's always a song I go to in the morning. I may have brought this up before. Are you a Great Day to Be Alive fan? Are you a Lovely Day Bill Withers type of guy? Like, what is the vibe?
Well, yeah, definitely not like either of those two specific songs. I don't think I have a specific song, but it's definitely more of the Great Day to Be Alive vibe.
Yeah.
Than,
a little bit of country.
Yeah, a little bit of country. For some reason, just not even just in the mornings, like on a nice day in general.
Right.
It's just like a country vibe. You know what I mean?
I feel it.
I don't know what I would go to though. I don't really. It's not ever the same song. I think it's kind of just like. I rotate.
That's what I like about Sundays on a Sunday morning, something like that. You go to church, watching football.
Yeah, we've definitely talked about this like off before. Because I know I'll randomly text you when I hear a song, and I'm like, good Monday morning work song. You know what I mean?
Yeah, kick the work day off.
But it's like, whatever my favorite like upbeat song is of that time.
Yeah.
That's kind of my go-to in the morning sometimes.
I got you. Used to be, I probably said this a couple, like last season at some point. Every morning when I had my commute, I used to throw on Mac Miller to hype myself up. And Wiz Khalifa hyped me up. The best hype song ever, in my opinion.
Okay.
Throwing it out there. We can move to sports topics, but if you have a thought.
Go ahead. No, let me think on that. I'll try to come back on
something that hypes you up. You let me know. Wiz Khalifa, hype me up. That's the jam.
We used to, not like I don't know. I don't have a hype up song to like go to work or anything like that. But when we were like going out, like back in high school or college, my first car was I think it was a 01 Grand Cherokee, and I had like $4,000 worth of speakers in that thing. Like the speakers in the car were worth more than the car, right? Like my stepdad, or I guess ex-stepdad, was like real big into all of that. Yeah. And he kind of put it on me, and I grew up liking it all. But he bought me like the best stuff. Like that was birthday presents, Christmas presents. Yeah. Had like custom boxes and everything. But like we used to, when we would go out, we'd always listen to Snakes in the Grass by Waka Flocka. Because it would it had so much bass. And just we'd always take my car out because of that. Like it's fun to have the speakers and everything when you're going out. But it had so much bass to it that it was impossible to like not get going. Yeah. The bass would like it was so one of the ones where it hits you in the chest. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, there was
we used to do the same thing, but it was a few Boosie songs that we used to throw on. Two red bones kissing in the back. Anyways,
we always had some Waka Flocka. That was our go-to.
I never got into Waka, but I'm also a little older. So
or old school, like old Tyga, like when Tyga first came out. Good time. Okay.
So where my brain went. That's just how my brain works sometimes, man. You've known me long enough. Mm-hmm. You're welcome, guys. Welcome to my life. Sports.
Yeah.
You want to talk about sports?
Sports.
Yeah.
Let's talk about sports.
Let's talk about sports. Saints are 2-1. They were up 17-0 in the third quarter, and they fumbled the bag. What happened?
Well, I mean, Derek Carr went out.
Okay.
Right? Not really an excuse. I don't care who the quarterback is. You're up 17-0 with that defense. You should be able to close the game out. Like, I kind of expected it to get a little close once he went out. But, man, that was one of the most frustrating Saints games I think I've ever watched.
Yeah.
It just felt like, and like we could say this on the front end, Jameis he's getting hate because he's Jameis.
Oh, of course.
On Twitter,
Facebook,
whatever.
The stands are back.
Oh, they're back.
Are you ready?
First, Jameis is inevitable. Let's go. Let's say that.
I think I texted you that.
Yeah. But he played well. Like, I don't think he played.
Yeah, he was fine.
He played. I don't know if I want to say he played well. He played on par with what Derek Carr's been the first 3 weeks of the season. And like, for everybody hating on Jameis, like, call a spade a spade. Carr has not been some great quarterback so far, right? Like, he put up good numbers in the first week, but he hasn't been spectacular.
I'll say this: I do want to defend. There's this debate. People throw numbers out, and there's certain people out there that want to put Jameis on the same level as Carr or better. I don't think he is. Even to what you're saying about like Jameis played as well as Carr has, I disagree with that as well. The major difference I see between Jameis and Carr, they may put up the same stats, but Carr moves the ball consistently. They don't score, but they move the ball consistently, keep the defense off the field, run the clock a little bit. James will come on. He might make a play. There's a penalty. I don't know what it is about what happens to our team's brain when Jameis is on the field, because it's not all on him. There's just like stupid penalties. There's dumb things that happen. We don't move the ball at all. Next thing you know, we're 3-and-out and punting. And that's it.
Yeah, if you're comparing it to – it's hard to compare it like Derek Carr to fourth quarter from Jameis this week, right? I'm kind of looking at Jameis as a whole, and yes – 100%. I agree with you, everything. And I'm with you. Derek Carr, it may not be a giant leap from Winston to Carr, but he is better.
Derek Carr ain't Drew Brees. Like, no, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to make the type of argument here.
He feels like he runs an offense better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't really know what it is. He just feels better. but I'll say this. For this week, it felt like when Jameis came in, like, they kind of just shut the playbook. It almost felt like they were playing not to lose instead of just going to win the game.
Yeah.
You know? And he gets the hate for that. But like you're saying, I don't think it's him. Sure, he did some of the things Jameis does. Held the ball a little bit. But also, like, Derek Carr is hurt because he held the ball too long.
Yeah.
You know? So...
Listen, at some point, too, this has gone around Twitter multiple times. A lot of people are saying it. At some point, you got to look at the fact that your quarterbacks have not made it through a season and your O-lines have not blocked well in 2-3 years here. Like, the blame goes somewhere for these guys getting hurt constantly and for the constant sacks, the constant pressures. It's hard for any quarterback back there when you got guys in your face. Now, granted, you know, Derek Carr and Jameis are both guys that are going to hold the ball. They like to let the routes develop. They want to push it down the field.
Right.
But you got to protect your quarterback. Like, it's been a running thing no matter who is back there. Which is why I argued last year, like, just throw Taysom back there. I can't talk right now, but just throw Taysom back there because at least you're putting an athlete back there that's going to run around and make some plays.
You say that was the issue with Taysom was he can do that and he wouldn't.
No, not a quarterback. It's like he changes his mindset.
Yeah, but that's a different conversation. Yeah, I think the one that's Dennis Allen gets blamed. He's the head coach.
Sure,
this is his show. The one that deserves a lot of like eyes on him right now is Doug Marrone.
Yeah.
Right? And, that's also why Dennis Allen gets blamed. You brought him in. Like, this is your guy, right? All the people this year are Dennis Allen's guys. So it all falls on him in the end. But, like, you can't be, like, if Derek Carr didn't get hurt this week, it was only a matter of time. He was at 11 sacks already.
Yeah, he's been getting hit constantly.
Yeah, that's just the sacks. Like, that's not hits and pressures and like it's probably lucky it happened now and not at the end of the season.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we're lucky it's only what it is. Like, it was only a matter of time before it was going to happen. Like, I don't know what they can do. Like, you can't stick with Doug Marrone the whole year.
Yeah.
Like, if you got to change something. You're not going to, I mean, you can go out and make a trade, I guess, but bringing in one lineman is not going to change anything. They all look bad.
They worked out 4 today.
Right. But you can't, like I'm saying, if you don't think Penning's good enough, like if you were one piece away, like if all the pressures were coming for Trevor Penning's side, you can make a trade for a good left tackle and maybe solve it. You can't fix the entire unit.
Right.
You know?
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, and that's been the consistent theme, right? It's not just one guy. Like it's every play, it's one different guy. Everybody's making a mistake, and maybe it's the scheme, maybe it's, I don't know. Maybe they're not communicating properly on who's picking up what. Like you see somewhere you come in with, we had like 8 linemen on the field for one of those, for the play Jameis took the sack at the end of the game. Not the end of the game, but close to the end of the game. There's like 8 linemen on the field, and you still leave your tackles one-on-one. It didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't even think it's like every play one person getting beat. Like, yeah, every play one person is getting beat. But the problem is it's multiple of them every play. Like the play where Carr gets hurt, I saw somebody say, you got to step up. I'm like, dude, there
was nowhere to step up.
Yeah,
too.
Both tackles are closing in.
Yeah.
The setters and the guards are getting pushed back like children.
Or the argument, a lot of people are like, oh, well, the good thing about Drew is he always took what people gave him. Check it down to Jimmy Graham. He's open. Jimmy Graham was not open. Like, he catches the ball there. There's a guy 2 yards away from him that tackles him. It's 4th down. Like, Derek Carr's trying to make a play. Now, granted,
it's better than taking the sack, though.
It is better than taking the sack.
You never know. I mean, like, if Jimmy breaks a tackle, I feel like you make you don't know, man.
Jimmy ain't breaking tackles.
But
Jimmy ain't broke a tackle in 15 years.
All right, so I'm not. This isn't specifically because it was Jimmy. I'm just meaning you see it all the time though. Like you take the 6 yards, maybe something happens, and you get there,
maybe,
right? And if not, you're in the same position you are. You're 5 yards closer for a punt. You know, it's like it's a better result to complete that pass than to take the sack.
Yeah.
So, because like if he's taking the sack, he gets hurt, he could fumble. There's worse things that happen from him taking the sack than trying to complete that pass. To me.
Yeah, you know? I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I just don't fault him for everything's moving fast in that situation. You see Jimmy 3 yards past the line of scrimmage. You know he's nowhere near the first down. You're looking at the sticks. You know, you're not even looking at Jimmy there.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
That's fair.
If it's someone like Kamara, or you got somebody coming out of the backfield, maybe it's like, check down, let him run with it. But I just don't. I'm not a quarterback. Clearly, I've played a little flag football. That's about it.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be looking at that.
That's the thing. I don't know what the solution is. Like, it's such a you can't. Like, yeah, we were 2-0. We should be 3-0 with that offensive line. But, like, I don't know how that's sustainable.
It doesn't
to keep winning. I mean, because the defense is so good, right? Like,
you also got to call a spade on the other end, too. Like, we're not running the ball.
No.
We are just choosing not to run the ball.
Yeah, they abandon it quick. Like, if it's not working, which is weird because the second game, I guess, when we had, because Jamal came out the second game and was making some plays.
Yeah.
Like, I saw people still hating on him. I thought he was looking good that game.
He looked okay. He wasn't.
It felt like he was getting 4 yards a pop.
Yeah,
like, I'll take it. That's better than what we had.
It's just ugly. Like Jamal's style is always going to be kind of like that. He's like 4 yards in a pile of dust or whatever you want to call it.
The problem is The problem is he was getting 4 yards up the gut, and then they try to do the things he's not good at, and going outside, and that's when it gets ugly, and you know. But he was getting yardage, and then Tony Jones comes in and he looks good.
You got preseason Tony Jones on this roster right now.
I don't know what happened. Like, I know Green Bay used to have a really good run defense. I don't know if they're still up there or not. No, they're not, because I remember when we did the pregame show, they were the 3rd worst rush defense in the league. So it should have been a game where you could get it going.
It just genuinely looks like we're choosing not to run the ball, to be honest. Like, and maybe it's just the eye test. I don't know. But I even said it last week. I was like, why are we not giving Kendra the ball? And a guy I was with was like, well, because Kendrick's been sucking with the ball. I'm like, really? Has he even touched it? And it was like,
dude, he had a few where he looked good.
I thought so too. He's got burst. He can.
Yeah.
And they were sticking with Tony, which is fine. I don't know. There's a lot I don't understand. I don't know.
And you got, of course, you're excited for Alvin to come back, but then it's like, are we gonna get the same Alvin we got last year when he would just have him running straight into the back of the line and he's getting frustrated, and you see it with Alvin, his body language gets kind of like rightfully so, because he's like, you remember when Mark Ingram popped up that one time like years ago, was like, stop running that shit. It's the same thing with Alvin, and and then they're not running like the screen passes, and I don't know if it's because they don't trust who they got back there. Like, did they not trust Jamal with the screen passes? Do they not trust Tony Jones? Like, you got to do something. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't know what the solution is.
I don't know. I think the style another thing, just going back into the run thing, the style that you're playing, right? Your defense is so strong. Run the damn ball.
Yeah.
If you're going to be that defensive team, you got to establish a run game too. Like, you can't just come out here airing it out thinking you're going to keep putting your defense on the field and they're going to keep playing the way they're playing. Eventually they're going to get tired.
Which is kind of what happened. There's also, I think there is something to it, like, for this game specifically, like, when your starter goes down like that, and he was in the, like, it didn't look good when it first happened. I think there's something mentally that happens to the team. Like you're saying, maybe that's what happens when Jameis came in. Like, the whole team just kind of is like, here we go again, right? And it's not because I'm not saying it's because it was Jameis specifically. It's just like, it's so deflating that you bring this guy in to be a savior almost, and then bam, same thing happens to him that's happened the last, feels like 5 years now.
Yeah.
You know? And I think there's something to that. Like, granted, you got to shake it off and play ball, right? But and then, like you're saying, Jameis comes in, the offense doesn't sustain a drive. Defense is just constantly out there, and like, they weren't getting beat all game. And then you got you got the dude, what's the cornerback? I don't know how to say his last name. Yadam, whatever his last name is. Yeah,
Yadam.
So he played a really good game, but like, you're kind of expecting him to get beat at some point,
right?
And it happened. Like, you play it with fire, that happened.
Even Alante had a hell of a game, but when it counted, there was one or two big plays that didn't go our way.
And then Marshawn's Marshawn, but he had like a brain fart on that 2-point conversion.
Yeah,
you know, like,
I was like, bro, you left him open.
Yeah, like I don't. It just kind of felt like, I don't know. When Derek Carr went down, I kind of was like I thought we'd still win, but I thought it was gonna get ugly and we were just gonna have to survive, and we just didn't.
Yeah, I mean, you said it best. It almost felt like they just played not to lose.
Yeah,
and they just went into like prevent mode, even on defense. Like, they played very soft.
It just feels like they don't trust Jameis with the offense. That's what it feels every time he comes into the game.
Which sucks. Like, you have to. I don't care who's back there. Quarterback.
Dude, you knew what you were getting when you signed Jameis, and if you're not gonna let him be that person, for better or worse, like, then why is he playing?
Yeah,
you know, like, I mean, right now he's playing because he has to.
Right.
But like, if I don't know, man. Like, if you had another option, like, would they play? Like, if Haener was healthy, do you think they'd consider going that route because they just don't trust him? Like, I'm still going Jameis every time. You know, I'm at least riding with Jameis and let's see how it goes, because I don't fully trust a 4th-round quarterback.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I don't think they would go to Haener. Something horrible would have to happen with Jameis for them to go to Haener. It just feels like they don't, like, but to my point is, like, if you don't trust this guy, do something else. Yeah.
Like, you can't, you're killing yourself just going out there, hey, here's 3 plays, put the defense back on the field. Like, either you trust him and let him play ball, or do something else. Like, put some, you know what I mean? Bring somebody in. I don't know. Why did you bring the guy back if you're not going to let him run the offense?
I just want to see quarterback power 40 times a game.
I don't care. Let's do it. Fuck.
You can mix it up enough. I've said this a million times. I don't know if I said it on the pod. I probably did. The little, like, pass run option they've been running. I think I said it last week.
When they throw it to Shaheed, it's going to be a huge play.
Yeah. It's amazing because every time they're respecting Shaheed swinging out.
But it's the only creative play he's running right now.
It is. But, it's phenomenal. It's 8 yards a carry at least every time. It's amazing.
Yeah, like, we've been going on this for a while, so I don't want to keep sticking with it. But, like, there's other complaints I have. Like, it's like, I'm not super down. Like, we're still 2-1.
2-1. Yeah.
Like, that game's going to count as a loss, and when we are fighting for playoff positioning at the end and we need one game, like, that's going to be the one we look at.
Yeah.
But like overall offense is the issue, but they've won games, right? The defense is phenomenal, and I'm not worried about the defense yet. Like they're getting some injuries right now, so maybe, but like they look fantastic.
I do love that the solution to every problem we've faced so far this year has just been to sign a defensive back. It's like quarterback gets hurt, sign a defensive back. Running out of running backs, sign a defensive back. Right. We'll figure it out. We're going to cut a running back and then sign a defensive back.
Right.
None of it makes sense, but it works.
Yeah, I would like if you want to be. If I had to give you like one other thing that I want to see improve is like I want Shaheed to just touch the ball more. Like I thought coming into the year he would be like a legit wide receiver 2, 3. But I feel like they're like he's one of those players. Same thing I feel about Alvin. Like just put the ball in his hands a couple times a game.
Yeah.
And see what happens.
You got to get him in space.
Right. Throw him a screen. See what happens. Like you can see every time he's touched the ball this year. It's just like electric.
He's kind of just become the shot play guy.
But he doesn't like. That's what Deontay felt like. That's what.
Yeah.
You know, like Shaheed feels like more of a receiver than.
You know. It could just be the offense. Like if you really look at it through the history, like the Sean Payton offense, which is what we're running.
Yeah,
that's how it's been. Like you haven't really. The only guys you've gotten in space have been your running backs. It's been Sproles, it's been Kamara, it's been guys like that. It's been Reggie Bush. Like you haven't really used wide receivers that way. You've had a shot play guy, you've had a route running guy. Like you've had a big target.
But we've seen them line Olave up at running back.
Yeah,
the one play. So like. It's there. Like, put Shaheed there and let him run one of the running back. Like, one of the screenplays. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's stuff you can do, but I don't know. Like, I don't want to harp on it.
No, we move on.
And feel like it's a negative thing because, like, I'd be a lot more negative if I knew Carr wasn't coming back anytime soon.
Yeah.
But it feels like at worst we're probably 1 week without him, and we'll see what happens.
I was going to say the good news is it seems like he's ready to come back this week. He's not going to – I don't think they let him come back this week. I think if they did let him, I think he might put on the damn pads and get on the field, though.
Oh, 100%.
But that's fine. We can put a pin in that. Tulane. You want to talk about Tulane?
Yeah, let's touch on it.
We were on the sideline for the Tulane game last weekend. It was amazing. It was a great time. Shout out to that whole staff just for helping us along, being able to talk to players, being in the post-game press conference, all that stuff. It was amazing. One of the coolest experiences I've ever had.
For sure.
But in that game, Michael Pratt broke a record. You got Willie Fritz, who's now won 200 games as a college football coach. Some people say it's a little more. Some people say it's a little less. There's a little question about it. I can guarantee it's at least 200.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, give me your thoughts. Where's your head at after that?
It was nice to see, like, Pratt back and playing, and like that game specifically. Like, I don't have too many thoughts about that one game, but just overall, like to touch on how the season's going, like, It feels like we came into the year saying it was going to be ground and pound. It feels like they're opening it up.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I've talked about this multiple times, like in things I've written, but I don't think they need to. Like, I think they have a couple guys they could go to if they wanted to be that run first team, but it feels like they got weapons at receiver, and they're using them.
They are.
It's fun to watch, and we both kind of, I don't know if it was just Nichols' D-line or if Tulane's offensive line is an issue. It didn't seem like it was an issue the first 3 weeks, really.
Yeah.
So maybe Nichols' D-line just came to play. And
nobody told them it was supposed to be a squash game.
Right.
Like, that D-line was ready.
That was like my one concern I had, and I put that in this recent article I wrote, like, of the concerns I have, like, protecting the quarterback, like, if you can... If there's anything that I was worried about after that game, that was number one. But overall, I don't think I'm too worried about it because, like I said, that was an outlier, I thought, in the first 4 weeks. And then, like, I want to, like, I love that they're opening it up for Pratt and letting them throw, but I want to see them run the ball, like, with the guys they got. They have talent back there.
Yeah.
And when they feed, like, Mackay or feed Clayton Lewis, like, they look good.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think they definitely should commit to the run a little bit more. It's been interesting that they haven't. Maybe it's just been the game plan with Pratt being the guy. I mean, Pratt's good enough, obviously, to run that style of offense and really open it up. You have the weapons, like you said. I mean, Jaquan Jackson has looked amazing. I don't think anyone expected him to look the way he has coming into the season, just based on the last few years. He was more of like a shot play guy, or just, now he's really turned a corner. It seems like you just get him the ball in space and just let him go.
There's a few, like Lawrence Keys is playing really well, and then Brazil is like the surprise at the position for me, because like we didn't know who he was coming into the season, but when he steps on the field, like you can't miss him. And not even, let me tell y'all, when he was running through the like little tunnel area through the concourse, you knew who he was. I've never seen the guy in my life, but when this big 6'5" giant just walked by me, I was like, hey, that's who that is.
He is every bit of 6'5". I mean, I'm 6'3", and this dude walked past me, and I was like, dang, all right, that's a big boy. Like,
and true freshman, like, he's one to watch for going forward.
Definitely excited about his game moving forward. But going back to the run game, one thing I've noticed this year, and I don't know if it's because they are a little worried about Pratt and protecting Pratt, even though he's going to run and he's going to play his game anyway, not a lot of like RPOs at all.
Yeah.
And they used to do that a lot. They used to do a ton of that. And that was a lot of the run game. And like this year, it's not as heavy. So maybe you see that moving forward, especially conference plays coming up. They'll probably add a few wrinkles. Mm-hmm. This weekend they got UAB, which you wouldn't expect to be a huge test, but it's still conference play. So, it's a big game.
Like I said, they have the guys. Like I've said it a bunch of times. I think Makai is good enough to just give him the ball. Like he's built to handle a workload. Like he's more built to handle Tajay's workload than Tajay was. Yeah. Right. So he's not as dynamic as Tajay was, but he'll ground and pound.
You don't know. I mean, he's still got a few years to grow into that. Yeah. Like who knows?
But I mean, he's not as shifty as like that's just a fact. Like he is definitely built to just be. He's like a Mark Ingram type, where he's just gonna hammer it out, and I'll get you the yards you need, right? But he has like those exciting runs where he should go down, he sheds 3 guys off, and it's like, all right, let's roll. I mean, the big thing with Tulane is similar to the Saints. The defense is legit. We had worries, not worries, but you lost like your best players on defense and or your leaders on defense. And there was questions about who's going to step up, and then you lose Corey, and from there you're like, who's going to step up to fill his role? And there's still
Grubbs,
that defensive line is something serious. Like you pointed out multiple times, they're stopping the run with ease, and then you got 2 potentially like all conference corners out there just shutting everything down.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you said it. You know the names of the linebackers they have?
No. That's probably like the one position group that I don't think I know.
Yeah, so I was going to shout out Tyler Grubbs, who's the one who stepped in for Corey Platt, and then Jesus Machado, who had, did he have 2 interceptions last week?
He had at least one.
Yeah, he had at least one. They've been playing their butt off, man. Grubbs is the one that's really surprised me. Machado, I expected to play well. Nick Anderson's been hyping them up all off season. Yeah. Like he's been all in on them guys. Which, speaking of Nick Anderson, just kind of changing gears here a little bit, get into another subject. Obviously, they have a podcast with the No, so if you haven't seen them, check them out. Talking that, But a couple days ago on his Twitter, he just randomly out of nowhere picks a fight with LSU and then just steps away and just lets chaos ensue. Probably one of my favorite things I've ever seen happen.
Yeah. If I didn't already love the guy before that, he's I'm always for that.
Just casually steps away. Do you think, and I don't want to go off the deep end here, we don't have to get into this. I think we've joked about it in the past. Last year we were saying we wanted LSU. Nick Anderson was very candid saying, listen, I wanted LSU last year, and then they had to go lose to Florida State to mess it all up. Do you think Tulane would stand a chance? I think it's a good game, but
absolutely I do.
Because LSU fans seem to think that it would be a squash, like a total wash.
Of course they do. All you have to do is look back at the Cotton Bowl.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care. Like, USC was better than LSU was.
Yeah.
Right? And we, say what you want about Jaden Daniels, good or bad. He ain't Caleb Williams.
Sure ain't.
You know what I mean? And LSU's got some good receivers. USC has 2 that are just balling right now. And I mean, LSU's might actually be better stat wise. But anyway, they already beat a team that was better.
Yeah.
Granted, this is a different team, right?
Yeah.
But like, would LSU win? Maybe. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if it would surprise me if it was a squash game.
Yeah.
I think that's the only outcome that would surprise me.
Yeah.
Tulane winning wouldn't surprise me. Like, I don't think Tulane blows LSU out in any fashion.
No.
Right? Like, but I think Tulane would make it dirty and like make it tough for them.
Oh, it's gonna be grimy.
Oh,
it's
absolutely.
gonna be a grimy game.
Yeah. And I don't. When you have a defense that good and you have a quarterback, you can play with anybody. Like the Tulane played. Let's see, the biggest or the other opponent would be like Kansas State last year.
Yeah.
Right, and they shut that down.
Yeah, they shut Kansas State's offense down.
Yeah. Like, and Deuce Vaughn was one of the best running backs in college football, and it was like he didn't do anything.
No.
So like every time they've had a chance to prove they can play with somebody, they've done it.
Well, and Tulane's defense this year has proven again that their defense can stop the run. I mean, they're giving up under 2 yards a carry.
Well, even Ole Miss, like
that's what I'm saying.
That Ole Miss score is not indicative of what Tulane did that game.
No.
It was one turnover at the end that kind of gave Ole Miss a chance to go up by whatever they went up by.
Yeah, Tulane was down.
That game was close until the end. Like,
with a backup quarterback.
Yeah. Recent history, like Tulane has shown they can hang outside of the weird hurricane year. Even when they played Oklahoma like
that year.
Yeah, they've showed we could hang with anybody.
Yeah.
So they step up when it's a big opponent, and then this year, like they're beating the teams they're supposed to beat.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't slip up against Ole Miss. They didn't slip up against, like Nichols is Nichols, but like those games can sneak up on you. Yeah. Right? And good teams beat the teams they're supposed to beat. And
yeah, I mean, last year they lose to Southern Miss, which they had no business losing to. Yeah. It's a tough loss. And they didn't do that this year. Yeah. It wasn't even a question.
And like, this isn't it's not a knock on LSU to say Tulane can hang with them.
Right.
LSU fans are going to look at it like that.
Yeah, they're going to look at it as you're a homer. Like,
they're also looking at it as like from like the times when LSU and Tulane used to play every year.
Yeah. Right.
Like that's what's in the back of your head. Like the LSU fans are not watching Tulane. Like they're just not. There's
not at all.
I don't want to say that. There are some, right, that like both, but the ones that we're talking about, they're not watching Tulane. They think of Tulane as Tulane. Like they think of Tulane the same way they think of UL, and like. They need more respect. Is that simple?
More respect. We don't get enough respect around here.
We don't.
Put some respect on Tulane's name.
I would love to see it. Like I pray for that game, like that bowl game. I really do. And I want, like, whatever the outcome is, like I want to see it. That if Tulane gets blown out, they get blown out. But I want to see it.
Hell yeah. Tell you what, Dave is talkative tonight. I feel like I could just ask questions and sit back and just let it ride.
Well, the thing is, when I come in with no topics, I feel like I have to be talkative.
I feel like I can't even get a thought in sometimes. I'm like,
I'm sorry. You get me excited.
No, it's good. I mean, it's everything you're saying is spot on. It's phenomenal. I do have something else. If we could switch gears here,
absolutely.
I want to know. This is another opportunity for you to talk. This is where I want you to talk. Okay. Here, let's do this. Smart Ray-Bans.
Oh, you saw my tweet about them?
Explain.
Did you see them?
No, explain. Let me set it up. Shit.
It's tied with Facebook, Meta, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just Ray-Bans with like a lens. So you can, like, if we're out doing Brew Bros and I have my glasses on, I can record it from my point of view. And then you can play. I actually have a set of Bose sunglasses.
Yeah. That
you play music through. And like they don't have a earpiece. They're just kind of like, they look like sunglasses.
Yeah.
And nobody, like, unless I have the volume all the way turned up, you can't hear them what I'm listening to. But they do that. They play music. You answer calls on them. You can film everything. Like they're cool. But the Bose ones I have are like Bose branded, so the sunglasses part is not as good. The Ray-Bans would be Ray-Bans.
Right.
And good sunglasses.
Right.
And then, like, they don't look weird. Like, they don't, unless you, like, really look at it, you can't tell there's a lens there.
Yeah.
So it'd be cool to have. Like, just little moments where you could record something out of nowhere from your view. I think it's cool.
Yeah. I'm a big tech, like, I love tech stuff. I love techie things. And, like, there's certain things that I see that you like in that world, in that realm, and I'm like, I just can't get behind it. Like, I don't know why. Like the sunglasses thing, I was hoping you would like sell me on it, and I'm listening, and I'm like, yeah, like I just don't get it. It's fine. It does seem cool, like to be able to record from your perspective, like you were saying, like that's kind of cool.
Like just think like so I'll admit this. I know from like a techie standpoint, like I am a person that wants things that nobody needs, that I don't need. Like I know that.
Right.
Like it's not just like, I don't know, it's like little stupid things that I really enjoy. Like I just love everything about like these random tech things. And like you think about little scenarios. Like if you're outside at like your daughter's birthday party.
Right.
And you don't have a camera. Like you got your phone always, but that's still, you're holding it. The 2-lane game. How many times did I keep telling you that I was missing a shot because I'm trying to watch the game? You know, like I'm focused on the game. If I could just record from my sunglasses, I'm just watching the game.
Right.
And there it is. You know, you see what I see. Like there's a cool aspect to that. But like I'm not trying to sell you on them because in my head, like nobody needs those.
Yeah.
Like it's not like a phone where I'm like, you could use it for this. It would affect your everyday life. You know what I mean? Like this is.
I look at these things and I wonder like how. Like, what is the market for them? Like, who buys this stuff? So I was just curious. Like, I'm just trying to go down the rabbit hole, and I just can't find it. It's not
TikTokers, you know, those kind of people. That's kind of what they marketed it to in the little preview I saw. And I haven't like fully dove into them, but I'm probably not gonna buy them.
You should.
But
I want to see them. I don't want them. I just want to see them.
You're talking to a guy with a smart lawnmower. Like these are the kind of things I'm into. Like
the smart lawnmower thing I could get behind. Like, listen, you don't have to go cut your grass at all. It just does it randomly. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of like other like random tech things I have that you just don't need. But off the top of my head, I don't know any.
We'll keep it moving. I don't think the people care. They may. I could be fully wrong. If you care, let us know. I'll let him talk about all the tech. We'll have a segment, Dave's Techie Thing of the Week. Maybe you can just find stuff, bring it to the table, be like, hey, here's a new cool thing. And I'll be like, nope.
I like that.
And we'll just
I can do that.
It'll just be a cool me being a hater every week.
Hey, that's fine.
Bro, I had a thought. All right, I'm looking. You've probably seen this in the last 5 years or whatever, but I have a serious question. What happened to Britney Spears? Like, legitimately, what happened to Britney Spears?
This sounds terrible. In a group message I'm in, somebody said they freed her a little too hard. And I'm like, well. But also, I saw like somebody else, like a chick tweet out, like, all Britney Spears does is like dance around her house in her underwear, and we think she's the craziest person alive. And when you put it that way, I'm like, yeah. But also, when she adds the knives, like, that's kind of where I'm like,
yeah. Hibachi Chef Brit?
Yeah, like that's a little weird. But when you put it that way, I'm like, it's really not like.
You're not wrong. And I saw that too. And it was like, okay, like, yeah, maybe we're judging this woman for being happy. But at the same time, like, I think I'm looking at it through the lens of like, I'm going to sound like such a hater here. And I'm so sorry. And I pray that she's fine and like everything's cool. But like, I look at it through the lens of like, this woman was on top of the world. Like, there was only one Britney Spears, right?
Yeah.
She was America's sweetheart. She was like the it girl. And now, like, there's a million Britney Spearses out there. There's so many like quirky girls that dance half naked in their kitchen with knives because they're just weird. Like I probably have family members that act like that. Like this is just something all like it's what do the kids say? It's giving peaked in high school. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like there's just something, and that's me being a hater. I'm gonna be honest, but it's just like, what is happening here?
I don't know, man. Like I don't know. Like you're saying, I mean, she went through, like you said, I hope, like, hopefully she's good.
Yeah, hopefully it's just that she's happy as hell.
Right. Like, hopefully this is just what makes her happy. And if that's the case, like, I'm not even going to sit here and be like, I wish she would stop. Like, I don't give a shit.
Oh, yeah, I don't care.
Like, it's entertaining, whatever.
I brought it up, so it sounds like I care.
Yeah, no, but you're not bringing it up to be like, I wish she would stop.
No.
It's like, do what you want to do.
It's kind of like the Theo Vaughn thing, right? He's like, listen, I'm not saying I'm judging you. I'm just saying, like, other people are gonna, right?
But it's, if you like get into it a little bit, like she went through a lot.
She did.
And you that's why we wonder what's going on, is because if she hadn't gone through all that, you might not be like, all right, did that affect her? And now she's this. Like, you're kind of connecting dots here.
Yeah. And but even now more so, it's like, well, what is this? Why she was in that?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't want to say too much and feel like I'm coming off like disrespectful or something, because I'm not. Like, I don't care. Like, do what you want to do.
Yeah.
Like, there are people and celebrities doing way worse than dancing around their house like 100%. That. So, like, do you, Britney?
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I don't think she ran a 5-something 100-meter dash, though. I just want to throw that out there.
So that's more that plays into this for me. I think that's what's really bringing this out in me, because we saw the other day, I don't know if it was an Instagram post she made or somewhere, she posted that she ran a 5-second 100-meter dash. And I'm like, what?
The funny part was, like, when somebody, I guess when y'all sent that, like, I just assumed she meant, like, 40-yard dash, which was still crazy to me. And then I saw the comment that said 100-meter dash, and I was like, "Whoa! Like, what?
There's no human." Well, there are some, but like, no, there ain't. What's the fastest
the record?
Is
like
9 something?
Yeah,
something?
I think it's like 8 something. Is what, like, you say, Bolt ran.
Yeah, there's no human that fast.
But like, it's not true. I want it to be true so bad that Britney Spears is just hauling ass on the track field, Like, if you imagine, you just walk out there and Britney Spears is like warming up to run a 100-meter dash, and then bam, she's done in 5 seconds. It'd be the most mind-blowing thing I've ever seen. What do you believe in more, aliens or that Britney Spears is running up?
100% aliens. But there's a part of me that wants to make so many jokes about how quirky she is and her being able to be that fast. But I'm gonna let that simmer. Anybody out there that can connect the dots on that, hopefully have a laugh.
Oh, man. I have a question.
What's your question?
Why do we say something is always in the last place you look? Because, like, why would I keep looking after I found it?
I think that's why they said. That was my first thought. I was going to be like, well, it's because you found it, so that was the last place you looked. But, like,
yeah, obviously it's in the last place I look, because I'm not going to be like, oh, there it is. Let me go look over here, though.
I'm pretty sure I left it on the table, but I'm going to look outside first.
But, no, it's not even that. Like, it's not like... This is like, hey, I saw it. It's there.
Right.
I found it. But, we'll go check under the fridge just to be safe. I was looking for something the other day, and that popped in my head. Like, I think I told somebody I was looking for it, and they're like, oh, always in the last place you found it. And in my head, I'm like, well, yeah.
Yeah, thanks, asshole.
Like, thanks for telling me that, because...
I love when people tell me super obvious things. I love it. Hey, buddy, did you know this? Yeah, I actually did. Thank you. Appreciate it. My wife hates that I'm like that, because I'm such a jerk sometimes. And I don't mean to be. I'm just like, sometimes I bite my tongue and just sigh, and I'm like, shut up. Not to my wife.
Well,
maybe. I love my wife, though. So.
Of course.
Not going to speak poorly on air.
But what is marriage if you're not telling your wife, like, hey, shut up every now and then?
She would get so mad at me.
Well, I'm not saying you're doing it in, like, a disrespectful way. But, like, sometimes when they say something stupid, you just got to be like, hey, shut up. And I would expect the same from her. If I say something dumb, to call me out on it.
That's fair. Yeah, like, I definitely expect it.
Like, making fun of each other is marriage. Like,
it's all I do.
Right. Make fun of my kids. Like,
oh, yeah. I roast my wife all day, every day. It's great.
Oh, man.
That's it. No, I got more. You want to keep it going?
Yeah, always. Talk all night.
Give me your thoughts on these. Oh man, there's so many things we can talk about, Dave. I've got a list here. I have a question.
Okay. This
is not like even the most interesting one, but this is just a random thought I had. Have you ever seen your neighbors bringing in groceries?
I have, actually.
You have?
Yeah.
Well, that kills all my thoughts.
I have, but I've seen that conversation, but it's only one time, like only once. Only one time.
Yeah.
But they're outside a lot when I'm bringing in groceries, so it's weird. It's not often.
Yeah, other people see me doing things, but I don't see you doing these.
But also,
things.
My neighbors are like old and retired, so they just live like a different life schedule than me. So it makes sense why I don't see them doing things at the same time as me.
Yeah.
Also, my life schedule is operating at the oddest hours. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Okay, we can move past that.
Okay,
I have another thought.
Let's move past
Taylor Swift.
Tay.
Travis Kelce.
Yes.
Great for the NFL.
Oh, great for just the world.
Great for the world, too. Great for the NFL. Listen, I don't remember the numbers off the top of my head, but I remember reading something yesterday or today where it basically just shows that like the NFL's brand in general and Travis Kelce and the Chiefs and all these things have like 100x'd. I might be making that number up, but it is some crazy number just because of all this stuff that's happening.
I want to say, like, on their podcast, Jason Kelce told Travis that his jersey sales were up 400%.
Yeah. It's insane.
Yeah, he was like he told him they went up, and he was like, yeah, I figured. And then he told him the number. He's like, what? Like 400%. Yeah. I mean,
the Swiftie army is real.
Dude, like, it's, you know, people hate on it, but it's like, it's cool. You're going to bring more people to football that haven't really cared about football and probably still don't really care.
Yeah.
Right? But they're going to watch just to see if she's there. So you're bringing more eyes to the game. The issue would be, and this is kind of goes into like why she won't do the halftime show and why they probably shouldn't get her to do the halftime show. Because imagine they announced Taylor Swift as the halftime show. Those fans are gone after halftime. Yeah. The Swifties are buying Super Bowl tickets and taking over the stadium, and they're not sticking around for after the game.
You think it would be that bad? Those tickets are so expensive.
You are talking about people that are willing to stand outside of the stadium just to hear the song. Like, dude, these people are buying these tickets already for outrageous prices.
Yeah.
Like a $1,500 Super Bowl ticket is probably nothing compared to what they're paying for some of these ticket prices.
It's something I didn't consider.
Dude, she is like, I know people hate on her, and I don't really know why. Like, she's a genuine good person. Like, she's always standing up for the right shit. You know what I mean? But like, she is a mega star. Like, absolutely. She is the biggest thing since like Prince and Michael Jackson. Her and like Beyonce. Like, that's the two, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I've seen people say like Drake. No.
Like, Drake is massive though.
But he's not Taylor Swift. Like, that is like when Drake, I can buy a Drake ticket like 3 weeks later. You can't buy Taylor Swift tickets the next day. Like, they are all sold out. Like, she is selling out cities 3 nights in a row. Right? Like, maybe there's places where Drake can do that. But he's doing it for like Madison Square Garden, like a basketball thing. She is doing football stadiums. The entire stadium on sale, and she's doing it 3 nights in a row. And like it's impossible to get tickets. Like, they had to completely redesign how Ticketmaster works in order for like the site to not crash and for people to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and she is just another level of superstar, and it's crazy.
Yeah, it is. It's insane. I mean, I don't have any thoughts.
I don't know how Travis Kelce made her so big though. Like, that's, you know, within that short period of time now she's huge like that.
Massive. She's a star.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things going around TikTok right now. Is like wives filming their husbands, and them being like, I saw one earlier. There, she was like, "This Jason Kelly guy. How did he? I can't believe Taylor Swift put him on the map like that." And her husband's just like in the background, like, "What the fuck are you talking about right now?"
Right. No, it's crazy. All right, let's close it out. I said 45 minutes. We're at 48.
Okay.
I plan to stick to it.
Spend half of it talking about the Saints.
Shorter is better. That's fine.
Yeah.
Is what it is. That's what tonight's episode was. We thank y'all so much, man, just for being with us all the time, listening to us. If you've gotten this far, if you made it through the whole episode, you're one of the special ones. I've seen the stats. A lot of people watch. Not everybody makes it to the end. So, you know, thank you.
Yeah. Tomorrow's National Coffee Day, so go out and get you a coffee.
Yeah. You'll probably see this on National Coffee Day. Let's keep that in mind.
Yeah.
So, yeah, celebrate.
Have a coffee while watching us.
Yeah.
I like that.
It'd be nice. Also, just a few, I guess, housekeeping things. Talking That Yeah, episode 2 will be out next week. I actually have it in my inbox to edit now. I need to go check it out.
Dope.
Get it done. Get it out. I'm excited. Mr. Nizier, Nick Anderson, says it's going to be fun. He said I was going to like it. I haven't seen it yet. I'm excited to take a look.
I would imagine Formally Informal is tomorrow.
There you go.
I would think. Episode 3.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other things coming. You know, always got a lot of new stuff coming. A lot of content coming out daily. Really feels like we're picking up steam, which is awesome. Thank you guys for being with us. If you have feedback.
Sundays, we're going to do the pre- and post-game shows now, so make sure you're following the No for that. Just want to put more eyes on those.
Yeah, for sure. That's all I got.
Yeah, I ain't got nothing else.
All right, we'll see y'all next week.
Deuces.
Peace.